Hello everyone, I'm Chenchu and today I will briefly introduce housing ownership. Young's housing challenges and their connection to Sustainable Development Goal 11. Housing ownership is commonly regarded as basic human right, as it provides families stability, security, and long-term protection. For young people, owning a home is not only about having a place to live but also about belonging, future planning, and social stability. Therefore, in context of sustainable development, housing issues are closely linked to build inclusive, safe, and sustainable cities and communities. And next, currently many young people face multiple challenges in achieving home ownership. Firstly, housing prices are increasing much faster than median incomes, especially in major urban areas, creating a mismatch between price and your earnings. Secondly, financial commitments such as student loans, car loans, and rising living costs, increasing financial pressure and reduce purchasing power. In addition, unsustainable income, low credit scores, and strict bank law requirements make it difficult for many young people to obtain housing loans. At the same time, the limited supply of affordable housing increase competition among first-time buyers. From the perspective of Sustainable Development Goal 11, solving young housing issues requires efforts from different areas. Governments and public institutions should strengthen your housing policies, increase affordable housing programs, and improve systems. At the same time, improving financial and property knowledge among young people is very important. Help them understand savings, credit management, and housing laws. In addition, community-centered housing design should be encouraged. Focus on safety, social inclusion, public transport, and shared space. With the support of new technologies such as artificial intelligence, future housing can reduce costs, improve space use, and support sustainable urban development.
Okay, now let's move on to problem and challenge analysis. So today we are going to talk about one very real issue that many young people are facing right now, which is housing affordability, especially in urban areas, and how this issue relates to SDG 11, which is sustainable cities and community. Let's start with housing prices because honestly, this is the biggest problem. House prices in cities are rising much faster than people income, and at the same time, the demand for housing is very high, while affordable homes are limited. Most developers focus high-end properties, so young adults and low-income groups find it really hard to enter the property market, and as a result, many people are forced to rent long-term instead of owning a home. Another issue is salary growth. Even though people are working harder, wages are not increasing at the same pace as house prices and the cost of living. Daily expenses like food, transport, and utilities take up most of their income, which makes it almost impossible to save enough money for a housing down payment. Now let's talk about housing loans. Banks have a very strict loan approval requirements, and many young buyers are rejected because of high debt to income ratios. On top of that, unstable jobs like contract or gig work make it even harder to qualify for loans, so even financially responsible individuals can still be denied. So next challenge is down payment. Buyers are required to prepare a large amount of money upfront, and saving for this can take many years. When you are already paying rent every month, it becomes really difficult to save consistently, which causes home ownership to be delayed or feel completely unrealistic for young adults. We also can't ignore the issue of financial literacy. Many young people don't have enough knowledge about budgeting, financial planning, housing loans, interest rate, or long-term commitments. This often leads to poor financial decisions, high debt, and being unprepared to handle housing-related responsibilities. When home ownership is delayed, it doesn't just affect individuals, it affects family stability, long term life planning, and even community development. People move frequently because they rent, which make communities less stable, and over time, inequality between homeowners and renters continues to grow. This clearly goes against the goal of SDG 11, which is to create inclusive, safe, and sustainable communities. To make this more real, let's look at the case of Sarah. Sarah is a young working adult living in the city and she actually earns a stable income. However, due to high living costs, she struggles to save money and the house prices are way beyond what she can afford. Housing loan application get rejected because of insufficient saving and high financial commitments. So she continues renting and has to delay her dream of owning a home. So overall, housing affordability is not just a financial issue, but a social and sustainable issue. And if it's not addressed properly, it will continue to affect young people, families, and the future of our cities.
Today, I will introduce solution proposal. Police level SDG 11. Housing should be a basic need, not only a market product. The government can provide affordable housing and support first-time buyers. It can also control speculation to keep house price stable. 2. Financing, education, and young support. Many young people earning money but lack financing paying skill. Financing education can help them manage saving and understand home loans. This mark buying a house more possible and safe. 3. Sustainable community design. Housing is not only about price, but also about living cost. Community near public transport can reduce daily expense. This helps people live more comfortable and sustainably. Conclusion: housing affordability is key a change under SDG 11. Young people face pressure from high price and fantasy barriers. Police sport, fantasy, education, and good planning need together. Thank you.
Hello, Professor. I'm Zhang Xingyue, a video actor in our group. This is my first time editing a video, and I hope you will like it.
Welcome everyone. As students of UCM's Sustainable Urban Development Program, we're exploring a critical barrier to Sustainable Development Goal 11, the global housing affordability crisis. While CGG 11 aims to create inclusive and sustainable cities, homeownership remains a distant dream for millions, threatening the very foundation of urban sustainability. Why does homeownership matter so much? First, it provides family stability, a secure base for education and growth. Unlike renters who face uncertainty, homeowners can plan long term. Second, it's the primary means of intergenerational wealth building. Property is not just shelter. It's an asset that appreciates, creating financial security. Third, homeowners have a stake in their community. They invest in local schools, parks, and infrastructure, becoming active participants in neighborhood life. This sense of belonging fosters stronger, more resilient communities, a key pillar of CGG 11. Meet Sarah.at 28. She's a marketing executive earning Rm 5,000 monthly above Malaysia's median income. She dreams of owning a Rm 450,000 apartment. The required 10% down payment is Rm 45,000. Saving Rm 1,000 monthly, this takes nearly 4 years. But here's the crisis. During those 4 years, the same apartment's price increases by 7% annually. When Sarah finally saves enough, the apartment now costs Rm 590,000. She's running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. Sarah's story reflects systemic challenges: housing prices growing 3 times faster than wages, stringent banking requirements, and financial literacy gaps that leave young professionals unequipped for this complex journey. This individual struggle has collective consequences. When people like Sarah cannot afford homes near their workplaces, they face long commutes, increasing traffic congestion, and carbon emissions, directly contradicting sustainable urban mobility. High housing costs force families into overcrowded living conditions or unstable rentals, weakening community bonds. Transient populations don't invest in local relationships or public spaces. This creates social fragmentation, the opposite of CGG 11's inclusive cities. Economically, it drains household income that could otherwise support local businesses. Environmentally, urban sprawl from affordable housing shortages encroaches on green spaces. The housing affordability crisis isn't just about homes. It's about the viability of our sustainable urban future. The path forward requires multi-level action aligned with CGG 11 principles. Policy innovation, inclusionary zoning mandating affordable units in new developments, financial adaptation, rent-to-own programs and graduated down payment schemes, educational empowerment, integrating housing finance into school and workplace curricula. When homes become attainable, communities stabilize, economies localize, and sustainability becomes achievable not just in theory, but in the daily lives of people like Sarah.